Hi guys, this is Ranjit, and in this video we'll be doing the FAQ video for this Moto G82 smartphone. And I'm sorry guys, I'm a little bit late because my wife and my daughter was not feeling that well, so attending to them. But let's quickly get on with the FAQ video, which will answer most of the questions that you have. And guys, this is not the full review. My full review will take some time, but these are the most common questions that many of you were asking about this device. And I completely forgot, some of you were asking me, does the smartphone has the compass sensor? Yes, it does have the compass sensor. Okay, the first question is from Nitin Kumar. He's asking, how is the sound and earpiece quality? Planning to buy this for my mom. Main requirement are sound and earpiece quality. No issues regarding the earpiece, no proximity sensor issue or anything like that on this one. It's actually pretty loud, and in fact, as it's having the stereo speakers, those are actually also very, very loud. And I think so that's the one of the bigger upgrade in terms of the speaker quality compared to the G71, because G71 is also very similar to this one. These, as I've told you in my unboxing video, has 3 improvements over the G71. Of course, stereo speakers that are loud. The screen quality is the 120 Hertz refresh rate this one is having, and OIS. Moving to the next question, this is by Arun. He's asking, is there any issue with the network range in G82? Also, what difference in general are there between the mid-range G series and the upper mid-range Edge series in Moto? Of course, the Edge series are supposed to be the premium lineup on the Moto series, their flagship, and upper mid-range are Edge. I feel the build quality is slightly different on them. Some of them have glass back and all those things. Also, it has features like Ready For and all those things, which are simply not seen on the G series. So yes, it's the upper tier of devices with that Edge series. This is not an Edge series, guys. Edge series devices are slightly more expensive. Is there any network range issue? No network range issue. I tested this one with 2 Wi-Fi routers, one on the Wi-Fi 6 and regular 1 second, and I did not have any Wi-Fi issues. In fact, the Wi-Fi calling is very, very good on this smartphone, because in the area where I live, there's hardly any cell signal, so I have to rely on that one, and didn't have any issues. Moving to the cellular signal, I tested, still my primary SIM, that is the Airtel, is on this one, and I am not having any cellular issue with this device. In fact, a couple of days ago, I was also in the city using it only on mobile data, and I did not have a issue. Also, one more thing that is available on the Edge series, I don't know if it's available everywhere, but at least in the major cities, if you have the Edge series phones, Motorola has priority pickup or priority home pickup and something like that. That is not applicable to the G series. Okay, moving to the next question. This is from Vinod Kumar. Ready For is a useful feature on the Edge series. Is there any possibility of Motorola providing it to the G82 via software update, or it's a hardware related feature? I think so, it's a software related feature, but I don't think so it will come to the G series. That's how Motorola is separating, I feel, the Edge series from the regular G series. So I don't think so you'll get the Ready For, but luckily we still have the security part that is known as Thin Shield even on this G series devices. This is by Aryan. He says, camera performance compared to the Edge 30, Realme 9 Pro, and the G52. Any issues with the build quality? The build quality is decent, guys. It's actually pretty light. Stereo speakers, I've told you, very good. But again, you can't compare the performance with the Edge 30. The Edge 30 has one of the best mid-range smartphone, best mid-range flagship processor. That's the Snapdragon 778 Plus. This is the 695. You could say this, if I compare, is slightly above the Snapdragon 750. So yes, of course, the Edge 30 and even the Realme 9 Pro are better than this one. But again, those smartphones do cost a lot, I would say, compared to this one. So directly, you cannot compare it to them. Again, every brand has different smartphones in different segment. And yes, this is around that 20,000 price segment. So it will compete with those devices. G52, yes, this is definitely way more powerful than the G52. No questions about that one. The Snapdragon 695 is way better than that. Okay, moving to the next one. This is from Prasad. He says, should I prefer it over the Galaxy M52 or the M53 for my parents? Because you know how parents use their smartphone according to you, which would be better. I like the Galaxy M52 last year. If you recall, I said that was the best mid-range smartphone. But the problem is that the speaker volume is low on that one, and also it does not have a stereo speaker. So see if you're okay with the sound output of that one, because that was actually good. The M53 is iteration of that one. I would say now it comes with the what is the MediaTek 900. So it's okay phone, but this also competes better. But the problem with the M series is that Samsung has started putting bloatware, and there is quite a bit of bloatware even in the M53. So that is something you have to judge. If it's just your parents, I would say the clean Android experience would be better, I would say. And stereo speakers do matter because older people hearing is a little bit low and the speaker output is actually pretty loud on this one. So those are the only two things I would say goes in front of this one compared to the M53 because of the better speakers and no bloatware. But again, M53 will get more Android updates. This currently is running on Android 12, so that's a good thing, but only Android 13 this will get. That way the Samsung is better. So again, you have to weigh down the pros and cons. This is by Karmak. He says, would it be better if they simply omitted the 2 megapixel camera? Precisely, yes, man. The 2 megapixel gimmick continues even on this one. This is by Jito Thomas. He's asking actually a couple of questions, and I did ask Motorola team about one of them. The first question was, no Gorilla Glass would be an issue, wouldn't it be? This does have Gorilla Glass, that is Gorilla Glass 3, and I did confirm this with Motorola India team. So yes, this has Gorilla Glass 3. G82 could have been better camera setup given the fact that the Moto G2 is literally almost the same phone without OIS, and G82 costs 3 crore. Yes, precisely. As if you've seen my unboxing of this one, watch that. In the first 30 seconds, I told you this is iteration of the G71. 3 areas it improves: the screen quality, it improves the stereo speakers it has, and camera, the rear-facing camera it has OIS. Apart from that, it's almost the G71. So if you think these 3 areas are not very important to you, you can certainly save and go for the G71 because the processor is the same and overall the performance would be the same, except that is capped to 60 Hertz, that AMOLED screen. This is having that 120 Hertz AMOLED screen. Okay, this is by Rajeshri Roy. Does the phone have all the required sensors? In one of your previous reviews of Moto, the handset did not have a compass. Yes, this one has all the important sensors, and even the compass sensor this one has, and it worked fine without any issue. I tested it, so no issues regarding that. Okay, moving to the next one. This is by Harish. According to the leaks, the Moto H30 Lite will feature almost the same spec sheets except smaller screen, battery, and lacks OIS, but uses the same 695 SoC. Is it worth, or should I go for the G82? I don't know about the rumors about the specific smartphone that you're talking about, Moto H30, but even if it comes out what you're telling, it will be priced slightly over the G82, because remember the H series Motorola feels is slightly more premium range. But again, I hope they don't put the Snapdragon 695 on that one, because if it is close to 24-25, Snapdragon 695 does not make any sense. That's my frank opinion. Anyways, moving to the next one. This is by Rahul. Why Moto is giving POLED screen on this one? Is it better or worse than a regular AMOLED screen? In fact, it's better that they are giving the POLED screen. The POLED screens are actually thinner than normal AMOLED screen, and these are made of plastic. So even if it falls or something, the cracking of screen is a lot less. In fact, guys, remember, POLED screens were generally not given in mid-range phones. They were only reserved for higher end phones. So I'm really glad that Motorola went for this, and it's actually a very, very good screen. In fact, in this price range, you simply will not get this quality of screen. It's a 10-bit screen. Google around, most of the smartphones in this price range will just give you 8-bit screen, and also in brightness they will not go this bright. So I'm actually happy that Motorola didn't do that cost cutting and went with a regular AMOLED screen. Instead, they went with POLED screen. It's more durable, it's thinner, and also this one actually gets pretty bright for what it is for the price. So one of the best screens, I would say, in this price range. Moving to the next one. This is by Vaibhav Singh. How is the OIS implementation compared to the Realme 9 Pro Plus? The OIS is fine, guys, but I feel the OIS is also really fine on the Realme 9 Pro Plus. And if I'll be very blunt, if camera is your highest priority, that is the rear-facing camera, because both of them have OIS on the rear-facing camera, the Realme 9 Pro Plus camera simply will outperform this one. The Realme 9 Pro Plus camera, I've told it even earlier in some of the videos, is the best camera in that price range, period. So yes, it is better than this one. Okay, this is by Navjot. How's the main rear and front camera performance compared to the bigger sibling H30? Is it worth spending 6 or 8K more if only is concerned about these? Also, have you tried the Gcam mods? I didn't try the Gcam mods, but I think so the Gcam mods should definitely improve the camera performance, because I feel for the hardware it can do a lot better, and we know that Gcam does better. In fact, there is quite a bit of shutter delay in low lighting areas and stuff like this with this phone. So Gcam will be better. To be very frank, I don't see a huge difference in camera performance compared to the H30. So if that's only your criteria, you can save money and go for this one. But again, the H30 goes ahead in a lot of other areas. That's a different segment of a smartphone. This is by Ahmad. He says, what's your opinion about Motorola software experience and long-term using experience, considering Android phones have started giving problem nowadays? Please share your thoughts about it overall in your FAQ video. Very, very interesting video. And guys, you know that recently, I won't name specific brands or whatever, but you guys know that many of the Android smartphones with OTA updates, even some of the bigger brands, are actually crippling devices. After OTA updates, the devices start having hardware issues, screen issues and stuff like that. And this is happening across a lot of brands. But luckily, guys, I haven't seen that happening with Motorola phones as of now. I didn't get a lot of reports like that with Motorola phones. So that way, I would say Motorola is doing a better job. They are just not pushing out the update just for the heck of it without testing it. And I think so that is the reason. So in that way, I'm happy with Motorola. I don't want to OEM to just push out update for the heck of it, and that update actually cripples your device or starts giving motherboard issues or screen issues or something like that. So that way, still I would say Motorola is clean. So again, that way I'm happy with Motorola, and I feel they should stick with that. Don't push out an update if it's half-baked and causes hardware issues later on. This is by Ankit Roy. How's the battery life using 144 Hertz? How's the rear camera performance? And is there any proximity sensor issue while taking long calls? No issues of proximity sensor, as I've told you, while taking long calls. And even Wi-Fi calling is very, very good in this area. I have to rely on Wi-Fi calling, and this has been great on this smartphone. By the way, guys, you're mistaken. This one does not have the 144 Hertz. That is on the Moto G30, not on this one. This is 120 Hertz refresh rate. And as you can see, it works fine, I would say. It handles that 120 Hertz. Refresh rate fine, I would say. I'm using it on 120 Hertz, and battery life has been surprisingly very, very good. It's just like the G71, I would say. A great battery life, easily giving me about 1.5 days worth of battery life without any issues. And if I'm not using it that much heavily, almost 2 days without charge, this can actually go. So battery life, again, because of the Snapdragon 695 SoC, which is actually pretty well optimized, battery life is not an issue on this one. And yes, certainly it gives slightly better battery life compared to the H30, just because of the physical difference. This has a 5000 milliamp hour battery. This is by Tarun Sai. Provided everything but can't take the videos in 4K due to 695. Motorola should have gone with some other chipset. Yes, I agree. And I think so this is Qualcomm's way of differentiating a chipset. If you guys see the benchmarks and actual performance of the Snapdragon 675, it is actually better than the Snapdragon 750. They could have called it Snapdragon 760 easily. That is the kind of performance that it has. But again, because Qualcomm does not want it to compete with the 7X series, they just disabled 4K video recording on this one. So yes, I feel it should have been there considering the price point, but yeah, no 4K video recording on this one. But again, this is actually, I would say, far better chipset than the Snapdragon 750. It will beat the Snapdragon 750 easily, but no 4K. This is the last question, guys, and this is by Paraneet. He says, hey Ranjit, do you feel the device is worth 21,000 without bank offers? Please let me know how so that I can purchase it. Okay, let's talk about, let me quickly break it down between some of the pros that I've noticed and some of the cons, so that you can decide if it is right for you or not. Yes, it has stock Androids on this one and no ads on this one. The G71, I recall, had 2 bloatware. This does not have, so very clean. Stereo speakers are surprisingly pretty loud. In fact, it can go actually pretty loud on this smartphone. I was not expecting that. No proximity sensor issues, so no call issues and etc. Wi-Fi calling is good on this one. The network reception is fast. It also has that carrier aggregation. In fact, I always get that 4G plus on this one. Battery life has been good, and I like the fact that this phone, though it has actually pretty good battery life and 5000 milliamp hour, it does not weigh that much. That way it is good. I just don't recall the total weight on my in my top of my head, but in the unboxing I had mentioned that. So it's not that heavy, in fact, I would say. But again, coming to some of the cons, or I would say shortcomings, not exactly cons, the cameras are average, I would say. You can find certainly better cameras in this price range. For example, if you spend a little bit more, the Realme 9 Pro Plus has fabulous cameras, no doubt about that one. But again, the cameras are not bad on this one, but again, don't expect miracles. I'm okay with this, but if camera is the highest priority, maybe this is not for you. There is slight UI frame drops at 120 Hertz, but yesterday there was an option of disable animations, and I've used that, and now the phone has become very responsive. So I think so they can fix that with the OTA update, because I didn't get any updates till now on this device. And yeah, at 21,000, this is certainly not very cheap. And as I've told you, this competes with the Motorola G71, which is for what, 18,000 or something like that, if I recall. So yes, the Moto G71 is a lot more affordable, but you're getting three things more on this smartphone. The screen quality is definitely better on this one. Not only that 120 Hertz, if you're not bothered, but again, the overall brightness of this screen is a lot brighter. It has compass sensor also, and stereo speakers, as I've told you, and that optically image stabilization. So if you think these things are not important to you, you can definitely go with the G71, which is priced a little bit better than this one. So guys, these were the top questions that I was getting regarding this Moto G82. What do you feel about the same? I'll try to post the full review with its pros and cons later on, guys. I don't know, it'll depend on my family's health. If they're feeling well, then I can work, otherwise I'll have to attend to them. But anyways, guys, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care, guys.